And we are back, and I am so happy and so thankful to be able to come back to you. It's been a little while. Did a little vacay situation and was out, and that's probably going to be, probably not going to lie, probably going to be throughout the summer. So, what I will do though, I hope that you were able to catch the short that I was able to add, and hopefully that was helpful. And I'll do more of those on weeks and days when I am out and not able to create a video for you. So if you are new here, my name is Ashley, and what I specialize in is the market forecast for the week. I'm mostly helpful for those who are swing traders and day traders. When it comes down to scalpers, you may be more helpful to find maybe another channel. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start pretty quickly because I just want to make sure that the video stays within a decent time frame. But I am excited and looking forward to see exactly what is going to be happening for the week. So let's see. I want to pull up. What is it? What am I looking for? Jeez, I'm trying to pull up the Forex factory. There we go. So that we can take a peek because, or part of the reason why I wanted to do this is because this is the last week of June. So we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye out for some of that high profile news that could impact some of the moves that we're going to be taking. So just depending upon what you're looking for or what you are trading here, we only stick with the AU, the EU, the GU, and the UJ. So I have been trading other pairs, but I want to kind of keep a hold of that until I can kind of get a really good groove. Like I said previously in videos, it is kind of the same concept, but I want to make sure that it's moving the same before I go ahead and put you guys on to other pairs. Okay, so what we want to do, let's see. Monday looks like it's going to be pretty clear in comparison to the pairs that we're looking to trade for this upcoming week. So Monday is a pretty clear day. Now on CAD, we don't have anything in CAD on the pairs that we're using for this week. But if you are someone that is using CAD or has CAD as one of your pairs, you want to keep an eye out for Tuesday morning. It's looking kind of hectic. Also, US is having some pretty high profile news on Tuesday, as well as on Wednesday. We're looking at GBP and JPY. And if you're newer to kind of looking at the Forex Factory, the orange and the yellow folders are not as impactful when it comes down to how the market moves and price action. So they're not as much of an importance when it comes down to watching if you're going to be trading fundamental that day. Okay, so Thursday, same thing, a little bit more news for EU and USD. So I'll be kind of looking this Thursday. I will tell you though, usually on Thursdays, I'm pretty done for the week. If I have something still open, I'll keep it open till I guess as close as I possibly can get to Friday. And get it into profit before I go ahead and close it. But if I'm not in something, or if I closed out something on Thursday, I usually don't get into another trade because Friday is such a short day. So Friday looks like we do have some more CAD news and also some more USD news. So keep that in mind when you're doing your trades this week. I would hate for you to get yourself into a position that you think is going a certain direction and then get stopped out because news kind of killed it for you. So let's get started with AU. So right now AU has kind of taken a plummet out of this space. I want to grab a quick like breakout box right here so you can kind of see when price broke out. So oops, let me scoot this over a little bit. So when price, let me actually jump to the weekly. I try to start with the weekly, sorry. And then on here you can't even see the box. That's okay. So it's kind of going to be the same thing, just on a slightly different time frame. Right now, because we have managed to get back below this major level, and I would say is even like a bank level at 68,000, we could potentially see price get back down to this space. So jumping out of the weekly, knowing that this is on the bearish, use your daily direction determination. Or excuse me, you should use probably, I'm using the weekly because it's a new week, but use the daily for direction determination. maybe use your 4-hour and 1-hour for confluence, and then your 15-minute for execution. Execution can be kind of difficult from time to time on the 15-minute, depending upon if you're a scalper or not, because you want to set or make sure that you set your stop loss with enough room for the trade to move, and sometimes on the 15-minute it doesn't always have enough room. So sometimes I'll shoot for the 1-hour or the 4-hour just to make sure that the trade has enough room to move, you know, while it's doing its thing, because it could very easily go up, stop you out, and then come back down to where you knew the price was going to hit at. Okay, so I actually want to skip the daily for now and jump down to the 4-hour. This one on AU looks pretty good. In my personal opinion, oh, don't forget to set this up. This is highly important to change it from mid. Don't use bid, use ask, and that's going to give you your best price. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you're setting your stop loss kind of tight and you're not on ask, it will stop you out depending upon which one you're on. Sometimes you can tell, or excuse me, you can actually tell, not sometimes, but you can tell that the numbers or that the wicks change in size just a little bit. So you want to make sure that you're in the right place if you're trying to keep your stop loss or your take profit pretty tight. So based on what I can see now, I'm going to draw this here, and I'll actually move it up a little just to show you kind of where my stop loss would be, and then I would be taking profit because it looks like as of right now, as of last week, finishing on this candle, this little green candle sitting right here, that price has actually retested, or actually technically you can say that this is the last candle. Price is struggling to get back or past up here, and more than likely this will be like the retest region. So maybe set your stop loss just a little bit above here, and then take profit straight down. Let's see how many pips we could potentially be looking at. Let's say we just got in right there. Of course, you know, price may not get all the way down or may not get straight down like that, just depending upon the news, but it's possible. That's about 1800 pips. So more than likely, I will be looking at AU as a possibility for getting in this coming week. It looks pretty sturdy to me personally. But as I always say, make sure to do your own analysis so that you can become more confident in the trades that you take. So let's switch over to EU on that note. Of course, it's already starting with the weekly. Weekly is looking meh, it's kind of mid. And that's probably because even on the weekly, you can see a space of consolidation, and I don't always like to see that. So let's switch over to the daily and see what's going on. So yeah, kind of the same scenario. Of course, this is on the daily, so it's going to be a little more room to move if you decide to take a position. But even still, depending upon your strategy that you set up, this may not be enough pips for you. And I'd be wondering to see what's going to happen when price even gets to this smaller space here, and maybe we could potentially see some more smaller consolidation. So when it comes to EU, I'm not going to be messing with EU. I would have to see a drop below here. I would have to see a drop below, just below here, like a drop, a retest type deal, and then a continue. Well, you know, I would have to see a drop and then a retest, and then I would be going ahead and getting in for a short position on EU. But until I see that, I'm still not going to move, even though I know that when USD is the quoted price, the quoted price, it can, oh my God, when USD is the quoted part of the pair, they can all kind of run the same. So EU, AU, and GU can all seem to run kind of similar, but still, even with that, I have seen situations where it's not as similar. So I'll be just simply waiting until I can see price actually surpass here, get me a retest, and then I'll be looking to short the market for however many pips that is. Let's see how many pips that could potentially be. So that's actually not too bad. If it is able to get past there, that's 1400. So that's pretty good. I would be kind of looking at this, but until I can actually see what's going to happen here, I'm not going to do anything. So on that note, what I will do, which I think I've explained in my last video, I've been doing a lot of setting up alerts. Alerts are going to save you so much time for you having to watch the market 24/7. So what I will do, because it is a little more difficult to do on the computer for some reason, I don't know, it's so weird how they set it up. I'll set it up on my phone, But because this is my demo account, it's not going to show on here. So it's going to be a little funky. It's going to not show like the actual alert. When there is an alert, there's usually like this little dotted line, and then it'll have the price sitting next to it, and then it'll have the little bell, and then it'll let you know as soon as price gets to that price point. I also said that I was going to do this week was actually start to trade on my on my demo account, because I feel like the numbers have been the same for the past I don't know how long, however long I've been kind of using it as a demonstration. So if you are looking at EU, again, set your alert about around here, wait for that retest, and then you can expect to possibly see that continuation. Or price could continue and do some more consolidation. We'll just have to take a moment and see exactly what happens. Let's jump over to GU. So I've already made some previous notes on GU just to show you, and so I didn't take as much time because it was, it took me a while to find where price was, I think on the monthly. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. So on the weekly, as of right now, it looks like we're heading for a long position in a bullish direction, and it's actually looking really good. I do have my eye on GU, and it's funny because on GU it's doing completely the opposite of what AU is doing. So kind of like how I was saying a little bit earlier, sometimes the pairs will be going in the same direction, sometimes they won't. It's so weird, but for the most part, they usually do. So just try to keep an eye out, because I would go with the masses. If you see the AU, EU are doing the same thing, more than likely the GU is doing the same thing as well. You just maybe missed a candle that was indicating that it was going to go the other direction. So keep an eye out for that. Same thing when it comes down to UJ. If EU and AU and possibly even GU are headed down, UJ is more than likely headed up, because the base price, or it's no longer in the quoted price, it's in the base price. So just keep an eye on that. But when it comes down to GU, I'm looking at price to continue to go up. But it's also, this right here, let me get a brush tool, is looking a lot like a tweezer top. So that could be our indication that price is headed back in the other direction. We'll just have to kind of keep an eye. And again, go with the masses. If AU and EU are headed down, do not do a position headed in the upward long way for GU, because more than likely you're going to lose on that one. So we'll just have to kind of keep an eye. Let's jump down a little bit further into the game and go to the daily. Whoops. And see what this is looking like. So on the daily, looks like we could potentially see like a somewhat of a retest in between this space. I'm looking where price was previously at, and price is kind of where it's at now, or where it closed out on Friday. Now, if we're able to exceed this space, then we're looking at it continuing down on a short position. So again, go with the masses. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so let's shoot over to the 4 hour real quick just to be sure. So yeah, on the 4 hour, it's still, especially with this big long ass wick sitting here, it's looking like it's gonna head down like AU and EU. So this is one that we're just gonna have to play by ear and kind of keep our eye on. So let's shoot over to the 1 hour just for a little more confirmation. Price started to kind of head down, and then not being able to get past that certain point, or at least stick past that certain point that it's previously been. And despite what it may have looked like, I strongly believe that we could possibly be seeing this going in the other direction as well. Let's shoot over to UJ and cap it off for the week. So UJ has been a little bit challenging on the simple fact that back in, I think it was, October, price had actually got to the highest that it has ever been in the market on UJ ever, which was a good thing, because it started to kind of give us a little bit of a like a guideline or a map as to where price could potentially go in the future. So as of right now, it looks like it's very much headed in a long direction, and we could see some bullish movement. Let me switch over to the daily. Switching over to the daily, looks like, yeah, again, If the masses on with the base price or the quoted price being second, and then the base price is first on a different pair, do the opposite. I hope that makes sense. Oh my God. If it doesn't make sense, please leave me a note in the comments so I can help you and we can go through it together. But as of right now, I show that this is headed in a bullish direction. Let's go ahead and switch it over to the 4 hour, and I'll kind of let you know what I'll be looking for in terms of being able to get in on this position. It's actually sitting at, if you can, hold on, let me squeeze this out a little bit. It's actually sitting at where price would be expected to be doing a retest. I'm going to circle this just a little bit just so it makes sense. Right here. So you can see kind of where price kind of overlapped at and where the new candle started. There's a bit of wicking happening. So if you don't have a green candle to go by, if you're looking for a retest, usually you can see exactly that's where price has kind of retested at if you're seeing some wicks, right? So let's squeeze over back to where we are as of right now. Oh my God, how far are we? Okay, here we go. Okay. So as of right now, price is actually where it would be retesting at. Getting in on this position, I would set my stop loss. Actually, let me use the brush tool. I would probably, just to be safe, I would even probably go just below here with the stop loss. It's doing a retest right now, so you would be perfect to just go ahead and let it continue to do the retest. Set your stop loss just below that previous high. Excuse me, that previous high or that previous low, and then we could potentially. Ooh, is this gonna let me? There we go. Potentially see over however many days it takes to get up there. We could potentially see. Oops, shoot. Potentially see a decent amount. Like 12 bars. That is 12 bars though, so keep that in mind. Granted, this is on the 4 hour, and that's very, it's possible. I reckon throughout a week's span of time, or maybe even a week and a half. But as of right now, this looks good for the upside. So I am excited to see what's going to happen this week. I think that there is some good opportunity. We'll just have to keep an eye on that news, because the beginning and the end of the month are some of the higher times for some of that more higher profile news that could potentially kick your ass out of that trade. And if you're not familiar with fundamentals and how it works, then you either need to study it and use your demo account until you can become more familiar, or don't trade on the days where fundamental news is happening so that you don't get stopped out of your trades. I hope that this was helpful. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your trading week. Get after it.